Just as I was boasting about my Triton never leaving me on the side of the road, this happens. I didn't expect this, like, what the I was just revving it a little bit, just driving like normal, switched into bloody third gear, and then, I really honestly didn't expect this. My poor baby! Honestly, I cannot explain to you how weird and sad it was to see my Triton on the back of a tow truck, just looking at me. It was weirdly emotional, I have to admit. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get a mechanic to take out the gearbox, there's no way I'm gonna do it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Honestly, I'm really excited to actually find out what it is and what's up with the clutch. Because the clutch has basically been problematic since day one. Come here, light. Get your butt here. Yeah. Something's cracking. Whoa! Whoops. I need to get something. Ah, it's moving the fucking gearbox. That's so fun. I did it. Bruh. I'm kind of in disbelief. I took out a fucking gearbox. Well, so far I can see a couple of splines are missing from the gearbox. And to this day I still get nasty little surprises from that last four-wheel drive mechanic I mentioned in my video. Well, it looks like I fucked up on the fucking bolts. They stripped yet another bolt. Well, now all you do is have to deal with that cancerous piece of crap right there. Well, it's finally time to take a look at the clutch. Remember how that previous four-wheel drive mechanic that I was mentioning in my last video? Remember how they did my clutch? Remember all of the complaints I had about my clutch? Most notable was that squeaking. Plus all of the issues that I've experienced since then with the clutch. Well, let's just recap on those problems. And yes, since that last video, I am including some new issues that have popped up in the meantime. The shuddering is something that's been there since day one, but someone told me that that's just the new torque in your car because it's been tuned, so I never really made a fuss about it. The shuddering is not normal. Difficulty shifting. The weird noise, which seemed to kind of go away. A new noise. And the transfer case leak. And the prop shaft. And of course they left this disconnected. Another one of those symptoms was slipping of the clutch. Revving for approximately 15 to 30 second intervals within a 5-minute period caused the clutch to slip. And that's only revving from 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs. Because I'm a pussy and I'm always scared of revving my car too high. Well, finally, after 2 years of having this shit, now we're actually gonna see the clutch. No longer are we going to keep guessing what it might be. Oh my god. And as you can see, it appears that it's been burned. There are hot spots. You can see that it's bluish. The disc is all shitty and brittle, and has some visible uneven wear. And due to all of this, it explains why I had the symptoms that I had. I did contact the Extreme Outback Heavy Duty Clutch people, which is also Clutch Pro. I sent them all of the pictures. They told me that likely it has not been bedded in enough. They told me I had to replace my clutch, basically. Bedding in basically means that you're supposed to do about 1,000 kilometers of normal driving. I mean, one theory I might have is because they slapped it on the dyno, like within the same days that they did the clutch. I'd expect that might have something to do with why it's burnt. Well, those same four-wheel drive mechanics did approximately 10 dyno runs, according to this. But I'm not sure which one of these dates is the date that they actually put the clutch in. So I'm only guessing this might have been the reason why it burned. I'm guessing they probably didn't bed in the clutch prior to doing this. But I do not know how all of this works exactly, so I'm not sure how many different factors could cause this sort of wear. Someone did point out that the wear from the thrust bearing isn't even across the fins. I don't know whether that matters. I've heard these hot spots can cause the shuddering. I don't know what causes the stickiness of the clutch, maybe the same thing. I've heard the difficulty shifting is when the clutch isn't disengaging and engaging properly, but I do not know how to see that evidence. The thrust bearing was also worn. Well, the squeaking is probably mostly attributed to them not greasing the clutch fork ball thing. That's exactly how it was when I took it out of the gearbox, completely dry. My stock clutch that I went through my P-plater years was better looking than that. The same stock clutch that I believe that's never been changed in this vehicle, and it was at 250,000 kilometers. Looks better than the one that's been on for only 60,000 kilometers for about 2 years. There she is, utterly disabled, sitting here for weeks. Anyway, enough of the clutch. What the fuck happened to the gearbox? Let's see what kind of shit this gearbox went through. And yep, it looks the way it sounded. Third gear is apparently absolute shit in these Tritons. So quite curious, what happened? What? Don't you just love investigating why things happen? But I cannot explain exactly what happened to cause this. I do not have the knowledge. It also has something to do with third gear not having enough splines or some shit like that. I don't know how to explain it. I do not understand it enough. All I know is that third gear's shit. Makes a funny noise. God, I miss driving it. Poor thing, I've been driving a patrol instead of my Triton. I'm an absolute fucking traitor. It looks nice with the extra lift.